Let's take a look at an example now of using masters and layouts. You can see here that we've created a project with 3 scenes and 3 slides, 1 slide in each scene. What we're going to want to do is to have a look at how we can use layouts in particular to create some custom navigation that will enable us to click between each of these scenes. But before we do that, let's go to View and Slide Master. And let's just scroll up and have a look at the master slide itself. You can see in the bottom left hand corner here we've got the grey star logo, and you can see therefore then, having put that onto the master slide, that grey star logo is now being inherited by the slide layouts underneath the master slide. Okay, we'll just close that off and go back into the course, and let's have a look at this first slide here. So you can see here that grey star logo is now showing up on this slide, and of course it's also showing up on this slide, and it's also showing up on this slide as well. And the key thing here, of course, is that the difference between items that appear because they're on the master slide and items that have been put directly onto the slide itself, the difference is that of course you can't edit or click or do anything to that logo. It's just there appearing because it's on the master slide, whereas items that have been put directly onto the slide itself manually, of course, are clickable and are editable. Good. Okay, so let's go back now into View and Slide Master, and let's just have a look at the layouts that sit below the Slide Master. So you can see that here we've got some default layouts that will be available to you every time you create a new project within Storyline. Now, I have to say they're not terribly exciting, but they are there and they are usable. But what might be more interesting to you is the blank layout that's at the bottom of the list, so to speak, here. And the great thing with this is that you can duplicate blank layouts and then put your own content onto them. And if you do a right mouse click here, you can see it gives you the option to duplicate a layout. And indeed, that's exactly what we have done. We've created 3 custom layouts of our own. And there you are. You can see the first one there, which we've called Scene 1. And you can see that we've added some buttons to that layout, and we've also attached some triggers to those buttons. We've also got another one here. This one we're calling Scene 2, and again you can see that we've got some buttons on that layout and we've added our own triggers. And then finally you can see here that we've got Scene 3. Again, we've got the buttons on there and the triggers that we have added to those buttons. So those layouts now are ready to be applied to the slides within the scenes. So again, we're going to come out of here. Let's just go first of all to Scene 1 and the slide on Scene 1. So I'm going to do a right mouse click now. You can see there I've got layout, which brings up all the layouts that we've got available to us. We're looking for Scene 1, which you can see there. We just click on that and you can see there it's applied that layout to that slide. Let's also go to Scene 2 and do the same thing. Do a right mouse click, get layout. Remember, we're looking for Scene 2. Click on that to apply that, and there we go, we're done with that. And then Scene 3, let's now apply our final layout. Although actually, do you notice there I've done a right mouse click, but I don't have the layout option available to me, and that's because you can see that I've got one of the objects, in this case the character, I've got one of the objects on the slide highlighted. So if you do a right mouse click when one of the objects on your slide or a number of the objects on your slide are highlighted, you'll get a different pop-up menu appearing. So what you need to do is to make sure that you don't have any items or objects on your slide highlighted. So probably better to click just outside the slide, because if you do a right mouse click just outside the slide, you're not going to accidentally highlight anything, and so then you will get the correct pop-up menu that you want, which of course is the layout or which has the layout option, which we've got there. And let's finally just apply scene layout number 3, scene 3 to our slides. So you can see there now we've got the layouts applied to all of the scenes within the project. So all that means now is that we want to test those layouts just to make sure that they all work. So I'm going to click on the preview button here. Notice that you can choose to preview between slide, scene and project. Well, we want to look at the entire project, so let's click that and see what kind of preview we get coming up in just a second or two. And you can see there now that we're into scene 1, and at the moment that button obviously is unavailable because we're in scene 1 already. But if we go to scene 2, that's great, that works. And if we go to scene 3, that works. And let's just go back now to scene 2 and back there to scene 1. So that's great. That all works. Applying the layouts to the slides has done exactly what we wanted it to do. It's showing the buttons and it's also giving us the functionality attached to the buttons. And the other thing, of course, is that in the bottom left hand corner here we have still got that grey star logo, and that's ever present as we move through from scene to scene and slide to slide. So that's an example of how you can use masters and layouts, and in this case of course we've used them to build some simple custom navigation.